What's up, y'all? Happy Monday, happy Monday. Happy Monday. You guys, I tried to go live earlier, but it has been a very busy Monday so far. I pray that you guys are doing well. You guys know I'm gonna give you guys the weather update. It is not hot today. Praise the Lord, y'all. It has been raining. Well, it hadn't rained today yet. It's been sprinkling here and there, but we finally got our rain, and I could not be more happier with, the fact that we've been getting rain. Today is literally the first time I've actually had a chance to actually come on and do a broadcast and release the word that God, that he gave me to release. And so our declaration for those of you guys that are coming in, and I do have an announcement, or I guess we can call it an announcement that I kind of need to make, especially in this season and going forward. But our declaration is God is about to give you the grace to succeed. You can make that very personal to you by saying God is going to give me the grace to succeed. And so hold on one second, y'all. Let me get myself together. It has been a good day, but again, our declaration is God has given me the grace to succeed. I have to make this announcement because God is saying that I need to make this announcement before I get into today's word, because it's on my heart and it's what the Lord instructed me to do. And then we'll get into the word. I want to just say this. Be mindful of how you deal with God's people. Be mindful. Be mindful of how you come across to people. Be mindful in this season. Be mindful of how you treat people. Be mindful. You can have a concern, but whether or not it's received depends totally on delivery. In all of my years of ministry, I will say, apart from my life journey with God, like, ministry has been a lesson. It's been a lesson for me. It's brought healing to me when it revolves around people. It really has. It's taught me how to give myself grace. But I'm gonna be real. I have gone through some things ministry-wise. Probably every leader can say that they've had to deal with, different things as a leader. Hey, Visha. But I want to make this declaration. Nothing that the Lord has me speak is personal. The rebukes are not personal. Hey, Miss Allen. The prophetic words are not personal. I have no control over what the Lord tells me to say. I have no control over any of that. And I cannot, and I will not walk on eggshells and not speak what the Lord tells me to speak because of feelings, because of the convictions that some people have. I just can't do it in this season. This is not a season where I am choosing to repeat old patterns with people. I'm going to say that again. And this is outside of ministry. It's just in general. For those of you guys coming in, I haven't gotten to the word, but this is just something that the Lord needs me to say. Like, I've been through a lot with people in ministry. People have talked to me crazy. And I just be looking at God like, Lord, you're not going to let me say nothing? I've killed more people with silence than I have, I've killed more people with silence than the words spoken. And that's just honesty. Ministry is not personal. It is my assignment. I'm going to say that again. Ministry is my assignment. So please come correct please come correct. Just because the Lord doesn't allow for me to say certain things doesn't mean that I'm not human. Hey, Miss Willette. Hey, Miss Sally. Hey, y'all. It doesn't mean that I'm not human. You don't like a prophetic word that God gives. You don't like something that God tells me to tell you. Take it up with him. I am just a messenger. The pastor's just a messenger. The prophet is just a messenger. The apostle is just a messenger. We're just the messengers. We are not God. We have no control. But under no circumstance in this season, and I can speak for me, am I willing to let anybody talk to me crazy? I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I'm not repeating old cycles with people where I just let people feel like they can run over me because God. No, this is not that season. This is one of those seasons where I will release a person before I let it become abusive. I'll release you before I let you walk on me. I'll release you before I let you disrespect me. I will release you. And I had to say this because I don't think a lot of people understand that when they come at the prophet sideways, when they come at the pastor sideways, when they come at, any leader in the fivefold sideways, we are human. We're human. And delivery is everything, how you say something. If you know that God has his hand on the leader and the fruit on their life shows, speak to them with the honor that you would give God. I'm going to say that again. Speak to that leader with the honor that you would give God. Speak. I got to say it again. If you know that God has proven this leader, if you know that his hand is on them, if the fruit on their life shows that they are his, speak to them with some honor, with some integrity. Honor them the same way that you would honor God. I'm not saying that they're God, but give them that same respect. Give them the same respect. Even if you have an issue, give them that same respect. Give them that same decency. Because I don't talk reckless to anybody. I don't know why God has me lingering on this, but I had to say it. I've been through so much that I told God, Lord, in this season, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't need anybody's money. He says, I need to say that again. I don't need anybody's money. I trust God. I don't. But I don't talk to you reckless, so don't talk to me reckless. I don't disrespect anybody on here. Never can anyone say, even if they've had an issue with me, no one can ever say, Apostle T acted in a way that was not Christ-like. Because I've never acted any other way. So treat me with the same respect that I treat you. If you feel some type of way about this message, take it up with God. This is a season where I have to implement boundaries. I'm not a puppet. I'm not going to not say things because it makes you uncomfortable. It's my assignment. If at some point the leadership that you're following or in covenant with doesn't make you uncomfortable, doesn't push you to grow, then you really got to ask, is this God? If your leader is only telling you the good things that you want to hear, they're never rebuking, they're never correcting, you need to be asking yourself, am I in the right place? Am I in the right place? Now, I'm not saying it should be all good or all bad, but there should be a balance, a healthy balance. Because we're not perfect. We're not always right. Our emotions lie to us. Am I making sense? But I needed to get this out there. Because I'm not going through what I've gone through with people in the past. I'm telling y'all. This is the season where I will release you. Before you give me a headache, I will release you. Before you call me anything but a child of God, I will release you. Before you talk to me like you don't have no sense, I will release you. I promise y'all, I will release you without a thought. God knows. And this is an issue that has reoccurred in ministry. And I saw a sign of it the other day, and I just said, Lord, I can't do this again. And so I'm putting it out there for everyone to hear. If you're going to come to me, if you're going to talk to me with some respect, because I'm going to respect you. Talk to me out of love, because I'm going to show you love. And that's just real. And that's the announcement. Be careful how you talk to people. You can voice your concerns. You can voice your truth, whatever it may be. But don't come at me like you're handling me. If it ain't God that's doing the handling, I can't be tamed by people. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm trying to get off of this. But I need to say this. Any leader, not just me. You cannot agree all day long, but you better put some respect on that leader's name. You better honor them. If you wouldn't talk to God like you talking to your leader, you better, 9 times out of 10, you're in error. I'm going to say that again. If you wouldn't talk to God the way that you're talking to people, the way that you're talking to a leader that you're in covenant with, 9 times out of 10, you are in error. How do we ever get so comfortable? I don't care how real you are, how you like to keep. I don't care any of that. Dishonor is dishonor. Disrespect is disrespect. It is. And I'm not over explaining to people in this season why God has me do and say the things he has me do and say. Because honestly, sometimes I don't know. I'm not God. You got an issue with the prophetic word, take it up with God. I'm not in control of that. He says, I need to say it again. I'm not him. I'm not in control of what he tells me to say. I have to answer to God. And I'm not one of those leaders that dances around things because, oh, you rubbed me the wrong way. You did this. I didn't do anything. If anybody rubbed you the wrong way, God convicted you. Let's be real. Let's be real. I'm not going back and forth with people in this season. I'm not. I'm trying to get off of this, but God needs me to get it out clear because I don't want to have to revisit this again. You feel a way about a prophetic word? I didn't make you feel no type of way. God convicted you. I'm not about to be on the receiving end of anybody's frustration with God. I'm not going to say, oh, I understand, you're being reckless with me because this is how you feel to God. I'm not doing that. That is not my job. It's not what I deserve. Especially when I bend over backwards for anybody. And this broadcast, this part of it, is literally about me standing up for me. And I'm going to say this again. I don't need anybody's money. And I say that because some people will think, oh, because I give here, because I do this, and you can't control what I say. I'll refund you before I let you control what I say. I'm telling you, this is that season for me. And I think that there are some of y'all that can take a page out of this book. Because I'm not the only person that has a history. This is a prophetic flow. I'm not the only person that has a history of people talking to you crazy. Give me a one if you can say, Apostle, this is me. Now I'm talking from a leader standpoint, but let's take leadership out of it. People, I'm not the only person. We have all met that person that says, oh, I just like to keep it real, but their realness is rudeness. We've all met that type of person. I've met so many of them. Oh, I just tell it like it is. No, you're rude. You have a lack of tactfulness. And I think that in this season of life that we're in, this was not even my word. That what God is saying is, hey, boundaries. That old season told you something. It told you something. How many times are you just going to let people do whatever they want to do and say, oh, I'm okay, it's all right? You better start telling people, no, it's not all right that you talk to me like that. No, it's not all right that you did that. No, it's not all right. Because you matter. I matter. I'm going to say that again. You matter. And so do I. I'm going to say it one more time. You matter. Somebody needs to hear that today. You matter. And so do I. And what's so crazy is that most of the people that go around talking reckless, being disrespectful, they can't take what they dish. You ever notice that? You ever notice that? People that talk to you any kind of way, when you start giving them what they giving you, they can't take it. You're the bad person now. I'm just keeping it real. Many of us have gone through so many heartaches, so many moments of being anxious, feeling on edge because of people. People not walking in the fruit of the Spirit. People being led by their emotions, being led by their flesh, not being led by God. And I'm going to say this because God says I need to say it. Don't tell a person you prayed about something, but then you still operate in disrespect and dishonor. Because He didn't tell you to respond that way. A lot of times how the Lord will deal with me is if I'm emotional, if I'm offended, like if I'm heated about it, He won't let me respond. It's not that I don't know what to say, but the spirit behind what I say, it carries through, whether it's a message, whether it's a voice call. And so a lot of times what the Lord will say is, don't say nothing right now. And He'll wait until I cool down, until I get out of my feelings. And then He'll say, now respond. But now you're responding from a place of peace. You get what I'm saying? In this season, it behooves us all to have boundaries. No, nobody gets to talk to you crazy in this season. With all that you've been through, all that you've come out of, nobody gets to do that. Nobody gets to dishonor you, disrespect you. This is something that's just really been popping up. It happened to me yesterday. Then today, dealing with a family situation, and I'm just like, what is it about this disrespect thing that's coming up, God? It's just been coming up. And one of the family, things, and this is why I always like to hear two sides to the story. I really don't need to hear any side because God will tell you the truth about a situation. Because people lie. People withhold the parts about the truth that'll make them look bad. That'll make you tell them, hey, you wrong. And they'll completely demonize somebody else. You'll demonize them. What's up, Jocelyn? You'll demonize them. But like over and over again. And again, this was not even my message. But it's so strong in my heart because in the world that we live in, the Bible tells us that people will become like this. The Bible tells us that people will become like this. That they will lack respect, lack honor, be reckless. And it's like I've been seeing it for the past few days over and over again. And I'm going to be real. My mouth has just been like, what, God? Lord, I don't care how mad I am. I ain't going to talk to nobody that way. I'll never disrespect you back, especially if you my elder. Who? Who finna do that? And I was listening to my mom talk earlier because it was a situation. And God has just had me so shielded because I don't like mess. I don't like drama. But today I got pulled in the middle of a situation. And I knew that by talking to my sister, I'm like, you ever ask somebody questions because they talking to you, but you like, no, that don't make sense. Why you mad again? So I'm asking all these questions. I'm like, did you talk to this person? Odd answers. Totally just demonizing, someone else in the family. So I called my mom because that's who God told me to call. And sure enough, the holes in the story began to add up. My light went out. And I'm just sitting there, I'm listening to my mom. She's frustrated, like she's crying because she's so frustrated. The lack of respect my sister had. And I knew she was being honest because my sister's story didn't add up. And I'm listening to her and she's talking about creating distance and all of these different things. And after I got off that phone call, the Lord told me, he said, can't you see in this season, if you want to succeed, boundaries are needed. Boundaries are not to punish anybody, but boundaries keep us in a healthy place. Boundaries keep us in a place where we are not distracted, where we're not taken off course. It keeps us focused. And there are some of y'all that need to hear this. I thought it was just me making an announcement. But the Lord says in this season, you need to create those boundaries. Whether it's boundaries at work, boundaries in your house life, boundaries. 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 It's okay to say, hey, that's not okay. I come from a background of just letting people say whatever they want to say, do whatever they want to do, taking hits and making people feel like it's okay. But like if ministry has taught me anything, it's okay to take up for yourself. It's okay to say, hey, no. And you can do that in a way that's good for you, in a healthy way. And that's it. That's it. That's it. I don't know who this word was for. I don't know who this was for. But this was obviously the word that God wanted me to get out. This was it. This was it. And so I love y'all. I am rooting for you. Take what you need to take from this. Glean what you need to glean from this. And move forward. Protect your peace. I don't know about y'all. I thought I was done. I'm done just taking blows, being punching bags for people. I'm done with that. I'm done. It gets to a point in life where we have to start choosing us. Like, God, I'm nobody's punching bag. I don't have to be disrespectful back. I don't have to operate in a dishonorable way to you, God. But I can healthily say, hey, listen, don't talk to me that way. I can healthily say, hey, when you do this, this is how it affects me. I can do those things. I can let a person know that, hey, it's not okay, nor is it Christ-like for you to talk to me or treat me like this. This is one of the most overrated and overlooked things. And some people will probably take offense. If you feel triggered, good. And that's just real. People are human. People have feelings. People have emotions even outside of the church. We're human. We're human. And it's so crazy that like when people are emotional, they're not thinking about the feelings of nobody else. They're not thinking about how it comes across to nobody else, because their mindset unconsciously enters into a very selfish mindset, a self-seeking, self-centered mindset. And so people do and they say whatever they feel they have to do or say in that moment. And a lot of times they don't think about the repercussions of what it does to someone else. They don't care a lot of times. But I've learned that it's not my job to babysit anyone. It's not my job. It's not my job to be so understanding that I place myself to be hurt. You can love someone but say, hey, no, you're wrong. I'm going to say this again. You can love someone and tell them, hey, no, you're wrong. You can love somebody and still have to distance yourself. Because let's be real. Some people, you can tell them until they are black or blue in the face that what they're doing is wrong, that is hurtful, and they will still do it. And some of y'all are right there now where you like, Apostle, I done told this person, I've voiced my concerns, and they just keep doing it and doing it, doing it, doing it, and doing it. In that case, sometimes you have to love them from afar. I love you enough not to let you bring toxicity to this relationship. I love you enough not to let you hurt me. I love me enough not to let you hurt me. Come on, somebody. I love you enough to bring distance, because it's only so much a person can take. I'm going to be real. I saw it happen this past weekend with a friend. I said, I told this person, this is going to go bad. If you don't end this, it's going to go bad. Not even days later. You know, sometimes we try to bargain with God when we really love a person. Not even days later, it went south. It went all the way south, y'all. It went all the way south. So they had no choice but to love from afar. And honestly, sometimes it is that way. Sometimes you push a person, you push a person, and you push a person. Eventually, guess what? That pressure builds up from all the hurt, and you finally get a response. I was that kid growing up. People would hurt me, they would say things to me, and I would bottle it all. I would just take it. I would take it. And then it would get to the point where all it took was one little thing, and I'm exploding on everybody. You ever dealt with that? Where you just don't say anything to keep the peace. You don't say anything because you don't want to rub them the wrong way. You don't say anything because, you got so many different reasons of why sometimes you don't tell a person the truth about what they did and how they mishandled you, right? And then eventually, it gets to a point where you can literally feel the pressure building up. And the very thing you weren't trying to do, which was explode, be ungodly, it ends up being the very thing that you do. We all have been there. But what God is saying in this season is that you can express those healthy boundaries with the people that are for you. The people that are supposed to be with you in this season, you can express healthy boundaries and move forward. And that's what he's calling us to do. When you think about the number one way that the enemy really gets to us, most people will say circumstances. I say that's number two. The number one way that the enemy gets to us, that he gets us off of our path, is by people. People, think about it. People. God wants me to say it again. The number one way is by people. People. But in this season, God is saying no. This is the season for many people to put them first, to put their peace first, to put their assignment first, without having to look over your shoulder, without having to walk on eggshells around certain people. And that's just real. That's just real. So yeah, you matter. I do too. Some people are going to watch this and they're going to feel some type of way. Because I'm not talking about anybody in particular. It's just in general. But if the shoe fits, wear it. I'm at that phase in life. Wear it. If the shoe fits, wear it. Wear it. You matter. Can I just get y'all to just type in on the screen? I matter. I matter. Because you do. And that's it. That was what was on my heart. That was what I'm just now getting the time to just sit and release this word. This was not even the original word that the Lord wanted me to give. But it's what was needed. Because many of us have been broken down by people. Many of us have been talked too crazy. Some of us have been dishonored. You don't have to be a leader to be dishonored by somebody. You don't have to be a leader to be dishonored. It's dishonorable when a person knows that you really have a good heart, but they still take advantage of you and they, treat you any type of way. That's dishonorable. Because the truth of the matter is that many of us have never deserved what people have done to us, what they've put us through, the words that they said, how they handled us. For many of us, we can say, I ain't perfect, God, but I do try to love people. I do my best with people. I do treat people with kindness and respect. But let's be real. We live in a world where people take kindness as, I can run over you. I can talk to you crazy. Let's be real. We live in that world where people are so rough around the edges. They so rough around the edges that they will mistake this person being nice for, I can treat you any kind of way. I can abuse you. We can look at relationships with narcissistic people. Let's be real. We can look at that. They will prey on a person that has a good heart. And they will do everything in their power to break that good heart. And honestly, I think a lot of people walking around earth are narcissistic because they only care about what they can get. They only care about them. But I think that in this season, and I thank God that in this season, He's allowing for us to raise up a standard of self-love that many of us have never operated in before. I'm being real. Many of us have never even operated in this level of self-love. Yeah, the world has their definition of self-love. Some people call the things that they do self-love, but it's really not. It makes the things they do make them feel good about themselves. But they don't make the decisions that really matter when it revolves around self-love. We're in that kind of season. We're in that kind of season. And that's it. That is the word. It's a 2-part word. Say no when you have to say no. Express your concerns when you have concerns. If you're not okay with something somebody is doing, say you're not okay. If you're not all right, say that you're not all right. Because honestly, a closed mouth don't get fed. And if you never tell a person or correct them when they do something wrong, what they gonna do? Keep doing it. But it's also on the flip side, as believers, what God is saying is, listen, emotions they there. They're gonna be there. Your feelings are gonna be there. But be respectful, be honorable in how you deal with people. Be honorable and respectful. If you wouldn't say it to God, you shouldn't say it to nobody else. If you wouldn't talk to God in that tone, you shouldn't be talking to nobody else in that tone. Because guess what? We're going to all have to account for our life. He's going to look back at some of us at those moments, and he's going to say, how did you treat them? I know what they did. I know what they said. But what did you do? How did you talk? And that's real. That's real. So that's it. I pray that this helped whoever needed it. I pray that it did. It helped me. It blessed me as well. But that's it. You matter. As you go throughout this day, man, some of y'all literally need to just remember that phrase. I matter. Your emotions matter. Your triggers matter. Your trauma matters. All of those things matter. So that's it. To those of y'all that need prayer, the links are there. If you feel led to sow, it's really, honestly, it's not even needed, this broadcast. It's not really needed. It's not needed. If you know that you owe someone an apology, apologize. If you know you need to forgive somebody, forgive them. That's just the type of season we're in. I know me, I'm not in that season where I'm not holding on to anything that could keep me from what God is doing in this life, in this season of my life. I'm not. So that's it, y'all. I love y'all, rooting for you. So until next time, y'all. Peace.